All right, what's going on, everyone? Philly Insider Podcast here. Today we got a special guest, Jason Huntley, Eagles running back for all y'all down here. And Jason was a fifth-round pick in 2020 by the Lions, but the Eagles were able to pick him up before the season started. Over 4,000 all-purpose yards at New Mexico State, man. I mean, you did it all. We watched some of your film, and thanks so much for this opportunity, man. We're excited to have you. So tell us how you're doing.
I'm doing well. I'm blessed. Out here I'm in Texas right now. Just training, just getting ready for the season.
Awesome, man. Well, let's get started. Let's get started with a few get to know you questions. So we want to ask you, you've been in Philly for a year now. So do you have a favorite food or like restaurant in Philly yet, or too early to tell?
I didn't go out that much with COVID and the restrictions. But I did have Del Frisco's a couple times, and I really enjoyed it. So I guess I got my number one spot for right now.
Gotcha, man. Good stuff. Oh, Sanjay, we can't hear you, man.
Sorry, mic was paused for a second. But right now, just had your rookie year. So what was the best moment off the field, which you just had in your rookie year? Just being a part of the NFL, seeing how the league works, being in the city of Philadelphia. What was your favorite part off the field?
Off the field, I guess just traveling, being with my team, because like this is like every little kid's dream, to be in the NFL, just to actually like be next to players that I looked up to. I think that was the best. That was the best thing off the field that I enjoyed this season.
Awesome, man. Good stuff. And we got to ask you, man, who's the funniest teammate you've met on the Bird so far?
The funniest? Man, you got a lot of funny people. Number one, that's tough.
Who's got the locker room rolling? Who's always the one with that line?
There's a few funny people. I think I would give it to Caleb Wilson. I feel like he makes me laugh the most. Always character, yeah.
Love that. And one more question before we get into the meat of the interview. You talked about traveling through the NFL, all the road trips this year. Do you have a favorite road trip from year one?
It was kind of dope to come back when we played the Cowboys, just because I grew up in Texas, in Arlington, and then to come back to Arlington and play the Cowboys, that was dope. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah.
That game always brings some energy, man. But let's get into the heart of the interview a little bit here. Let's start moving along. So for those who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey to the NFL. Who is Jason Huntley?
Jason Huntley, was born in Ohio, raised in Texas. I moved to Texas when I was like 2, so Texas really, I don't know. Not really recruited much out of high school. One D1 offer, a lot of D2s. My D1 offer, of course, in Mexico State. Went to Mexico State first year. Didn't really play. I played like 2-3 games. Then second year was my like coming out year. Junior year, good year. Senior year, had my first 1,000-yard season rushing. Drafted by the Lions, 5th round. Was there until week 1 until we played Washington. And then, of course, I was in Philly, and then I've been there ever since.
I love to hear that, man. And we want to backtrack a little bit to your time at New Mexico State. So how motivated are you to kind of like represent them in the NFL and just be one of those guys coming out there so that future guys, you can kind of pave the way for them and just show them like a guy from New Mexico State can do it. And, obviously we watched, like you said, we watched you at New Mexico State. We really enjoyed watching you. We were hyped when the Eagles had the opportunity to pick you up. So what was it like just being one of those guys there and just being that Swiss Army knife in that offense?
Oh, that meant a lot. Just to be where I'm at, just because Mexico State was a small school, It's D1, but it's not well known. And to be honest, I didn't even know about Mexico State until I got the offer, So just to come from that platform and just, showed that the ones that's coming up now that is, it's possible. You just got to keep working, keep grinding. Like, it doesn't matter where you start, it's just where you finish and what you want to put in to get where you at. And that's really the message that I'm happy I'm able to give off now, is that anybody can do it. I did it, you could do it.
Heck, we love to hear it, man. Like you said, it's always nice to see. Once you see somebody else do it, then you can be like, now maybe I can take that step too.
It's possible.
Always good to hear it, man. But you mentioned a little bit at the very start when we were going through the get to know you questions, but your rookie year was the COVID year. So I'm sure there were some strange protocols, awkward transitions there, things you weren't really used to from just having to play your rookie season in that type of environment and this type of climate. So what was it like? How difficult was the transition really getting into the NFL through a COVID year?
COVID, that it was extremely different because, we didn't get that time that usually rookie get to like learn the playbook and learn the plays and camp and all that. Like, we literally missed all of it, So that made it a little difficult because, we're not getting as much time as other classes did. That made it a little difficult. But I mean, you just got to be able to just learn on the fly. I think that was just the main thing that was different. Just missing all that time that you shoot that time with your teammates, just really getting to know each other. I mean, you still do it throughout the season, but those few months you miss, and then the camps and all that. I think that's the biggest difference between a COVID year and a regular year.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm sure it was definitely a little bit different for you guys, just having, especially because a lot of it's just, meetings and all that with college. You're kind of used to that stuff, and then just having to flip all that. But we want to ask you just about the running backs room you guys had last year. So you guys had Coach Deuce Staley, and you had teammates Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Clement, Jordan Howard, Holyfield, and other guys in there as well throughout the year. So what was it like, just the dynamic of that running back room, being with those guys, getting to learn from some of them who have done it at the NFL level, and just what's the camaraderie like among that group?
Oh, that was a great group. We talked to each other. Like, it wasn't just a work thing. It was a off the field. Like, we hung out, like, if we could, of course, small groups, still due to COVID. But we had real talk, real conversations, and just to be around them and learn, like, they weren't selfish, they actually were trying to help me get better in things, like I do make a run, or, what I'm saying, and they're like, okay, well, you see how you did that? Well, next time you can alter this and do it like that, so just being with them, it was good. It was great energy. Deuce Staley is a great guy, great coach. He knows so much and worked with so many different people. It's like, overall, it was a great group. I love being in that room with all those running backs.
Awesome. Hey, Deuce is the man, dude. Especially when it comes to running back coaches. He's been doing it for us for so long.
Man.
Deuce is that man. But moving on a little bit, you just talked a little about the running back room. Obviously, Deuce played into like helping you out throughout your rookie year. But every team's got their vets. Those guys who just help the rookies along. I'm sure you've had a few yourself. So talk to us about them. Who were the veterans in that locker room who really brought you up under their wing when you got to the Birds?
Well, Corey was a real veteran. He won a Super Bowl with them the year they won. Boston and Miles. Honestly, all four of them. I can't really just pick one out because they all were great. They all helped a lot. Like I said, they weren't selfish. They were helping to get better. They wanted to win, which was great. Which is what I needed. Missing so much time. Being with a whole different team during that camp. I mean, that training camp and stuff. So I can't really just pick one out.
All good. Talk to us about all of them, man. What were the experiences? Talk to us about every single one. We're here for it.
Okay. I mean, Corey, he funny, good guy. He can dress. Miles, same way too. Miles can dress. Miles, Boston has a slick humor. He's Jordan. I met Jordan during the end. He was cool though. He was cool. You could tell he's a vet though. He knew a lot of little things. Little tricks. Holyfield, he's funny. He's always laughing, smiling, good energy guy. AK Adrian Killens.
Yes.
He's funny because he's from Florida. He gonna let you know every time he's from Florida.
Guys.
Yeah, he's a good guy. That's from the whole room. Everybody, I enjoyed every one of them.
Love to hear that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. So, Jason, we want to ask you now about QB1 on the Eagles. Jalen Hurts. We're big fans of him and just the swagger and energy he brings to this team and fan base. So, what do you think about him and just what does he bring to this team in this locker room this next upcoming year? And I also want to ask you, Joe Flacco, a veteran quarterback, was signed by the Eagles today. Just his veteran experience, what do you think that brings to the Eagles this year as well? Just getting to learn from a guy like that.
Jalen is a great guy. I feel like Jalen was honestly the person I talked to the most when I got to the Eagles. Actually, he's here right now. We training together, trying to get it together. Wow. He's just a general, you know. Dual threat, can throw, run. He's smart, and then he has a good personality. You know, when he locked in. Though you'll know. But like overall, he's a great guy. And Flacco, of course, I know he's a great player. You know, I've seen his film. But I think that'll help just that veteran experience. You know, Super Bowls, all that plays a part of it. I actually have a friend. He played with Flacco when he was at the Ravens, and he was just telling me about it today. Like, hey, like man, I got Flacco. Like, yeah, he gonna be in the pocket, but yeah, he put it on you, like, which is good. And just talking about his experience and his knowledge and Flacco knowing so much. So I feel like all of that coming together, it'll be great for the season.
Yeah, sure. Well, hey, tell Jalen we said hi.
Got you. Yeah. Sure will.
That's dope. Man, you started talking about it a little bit there. Jalen Hurts obviously leading the offense in next year. What kind of jump do you think this offense as a whole can make? We got a lot of talented young guys. You mentioned Adrian Killens out there, Jalen Reagor, Hightower, Fulgham, Jariga, Herbig, Mailata. I'm just reading them off the dock at this point. I'm sure you could go on and you could go on. We got young talent on this team. And last year was kind of, you know, figuring it out, adjusting. A lot of guys were getting their feet under them. Mm-hmm. So this upcoming year, what kind of jump do you think this offense can make?
We can make a tremendous jump. Last year, of course, was not the year we wanted at all. But there was a lot of young people who played. I don't want to make any excuses, you know. We faced a lot of injuries and things of that sort, you know. But just with all this young talent, you know, it's still just so much energy to be given, you know, so much effort to be given. So therefore, that's great. And a lot of them have got their feet wet now. So now it's not like, you know, kind of like so about it, iffy about it. Like now they already know what they're going to expect. They know what they have to put in. So I'm excited for that. I feel like this year we can do amazing things.
Hey, we're excited as well. And Jason, we just talked about the offense a little bit. So let's shift it back a little bit more to your play style and everything. Kind of remind us of a Nyheim Hines type of player, right? Like a Swiss Army knife. You can run, you can receive, you can return, even though we didn't see you do that a ton last year. With more opportunities possibly in 2021 and a full offseason now, you're going to get under your belt too. You got more experience now and hopefully a preseason. We'll see what the NFL does with that. How excited are you just to get out there and kind of show what you got this upcoming year?
Oh, I'm ecstatic. This is what I've been waiting for, enraptured. I wanted to do so much last year, you know, but it was honestly good for me. I got to learn, you know, just learn different types of coverages and just pick up from other people's game like Miles and Boston and Corey. So overall, I'm excited to go out there and show what I got, show what I can bring to the table and go out there and help us win some games.
Hey, man, love to hear it, especially just what you talked about. Hunter was saying you have so much versatility. Like when we see what you did in college, you have so much versatility left to give. You mentioned the energy you and the rest of those young guys can bring. We're excited for it, man. But let's shift gears a little bit. We talked about on the field. We talked about you. We talked about your play style. But here on this pod, we are huge advocates of film. Me and Hunter are big film guys. For us, we try to avoid saying anything about a player until we see the film, because the film shows you all of it. So for you, how big is film study? How big of a role does it play in you prepping your game? Are there any specific things or tendencies you like to look out for when you're studying film? Like, give us a little bit of a peek behind the curtain here.
Oh, film, that's number one. If you're not watching film, it's over with. It helps you so much. Just like you can pick up little tendencies, from fire blitzes to just things that D linemen do, from two gapping to stunts. Just honestly, the film is your advantage. If you're not watching film, you put yourself at a disadvantage. So film is extremely important. Watch it. Sure, when I'm in the building, when I leave the building, like if you stay in that film, stay in that playbook, and then if you can do that, everything else take care of itself.
Hey, 100%. We, like Sanjay said, big advocates of film here, and you guys, just being the guys you are, getting to where you are, must know just a ton and things to look for all the time. So it's just such a huge part of the game. I always bring up to Sanjay, just Jamarcus Russell back in the day. I believe there was a story about the cassette tapes, and he didn't watch the tapes, and they gave him blank tapes, I think, and they asked him if he watched them, and he said he did, even though there was nothing. Right. So, yeah, it's a big part of the game today. But looking at just being a running back, we talked about how you can kind of do it all, but pass protection is also a huge part of being a running back as well. So what are kind of the things you're looking at pre-snap and just the fundamentals and technique of pass protecting when you're back there if you need to pass protect?
Well, of course, you listen from the call, listening. And then from that point, you just try to pick up any tendency that you watched on film, which is why I say film is a big thing. You can look at how that corner stand, or like those safeties, and just tell whether that's a blitz or not, or if you got to get out, or I think that's the best thing. But like I said, that film that helps you the best. When you're out there, you just really you going with the call, and then you using what you learned. What your coaches coach you, and what you have went out there and looked at yourself, and you just put that out to play when the play snaps.
Oh man. But now, I know your NFL's career is obviously only a year in, so we're going to expand this question to include college and high school. What has been your favorite play on the field? We ask every player this, everybody. We've heard some amazing stories. What's your favorite play you've ever pulled off on the field, man?
Favorite play?
Any level, college, high school, NFL, let us know.
NFL, I feel like there's a lot more for me to do, so I'm gonna go to college. College favorite play. I would say my sophomore year, we went to a bowl game, which was like the first time we had been to a bowl game in like 57 years, and they kicked the ball off to us. We kicked the ball to them, and their kick returner returned it for like 97 yards. And then on that next kickoff, they kicked it to us, and I returned it for 100. I think that was my favorite play, just because like you just hear the crowd, and like that moment was, we ended up winning that game too. So that moment was just big. I think that was one of my favorite plays.
Dang.
Love to hear that, especially after you get a little revenge factor there too. And we're hoping to see that next year with you. We saw you return some kicks this year, but obviously, there's a lot more touchbacks in the NFL and college, so less opportunities. But we know you're going to return one next year. We're counting on it. So,
and I got you.
Yeah, we're excited for that. We want to ask you too, just being in the NFL, were there any players that you were kind of lined up against, or that you saw playing from the sidelines and you were kind of just starstruck by this year?
Shoot, a lot of them, honestly. I think number one though was Deshaun Jackson, just because I watched him so much growing up. Like I watched his Poly tape, his high school, Cal, like Eagles. Like, I watched everything from him. So like to just see him actually be in the room with him and just play with him, suit up with him, like laugh with him, like I think that was the biggest thing. Definitely Deshaun Jackson. Give Deshaun Jackson that one.
Yo, we love Deshaun on this spot, man. We love him. I think I have two different Deshaun jerseys. Yo,
I got one myself.
You know. But man, going into next year, you just said it like 2 questions ago. Think you got stuff left to do in the NFL, man. We see the potential in you, and you know the potential in you. So you got a lot left to do. So let us know, what's one aspect of your game that you're really looking to focus on and improve on going into next season?
Sure. Everything. I don't know what aspect. I just want to be. You just want to be the best player you can be, whatever it is. I just hope I'm just explosive. That's what I want to be this year. Just explosive. When I touch the ball, explosive, regardless of what it is. Honestly, whatever it is to help the team, I'd be happy with. But I guess if I had to pick something, I guess just be explosive when I got the opportunity.
A great answer. I mean, I'm sure you'll learn a lot from Booby too. Just some of those 80-yard runs last year. Definitely learned some explosiveness in that. But we want to ask you one more question before we let you go, Jason. What's your message to all of the Eagles faithful fans out there that are watching this right now for the upcoming 2021 season?
And I appreciate y'all for staying strong through that rough season we just had, but I can guarantee y'all that we are working, and this year is going to be something special.
Awesome stuff, man. Hey, we're excited for next year. We're excited to see you play a little bit more too. And we want to thank you again for this opportunity, man. Thanks for coming on here and doing this interview real quick with us. We appreciate your time. We know you're a busy guy with training and just everything you got going on right now. But is there anything you want to say before we let you go?
I just appreciate y'all for having me. Thank you for everything. If I got another one, let me know. I'll hop on with you.
Yo, that man. God bless you, dude. It was great having you on here.
Yeah.
All right, good talking to y'all.
Yeah. Hey, peace out, Jason. Have a good one.
All right, take care.
Take care.